Hello guys, I'm going to show you Shubi version 1.0.2, a shoe bot built by myself that I plan to sell in the future. I want to give you guys an early look at what I've been working on, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it and be excited by it. So the way I'm going to sell it is through a key-based system. Right now there are just some simple keys, placeholder keys, and the bot is very simple to use. So all I need to do is put in an account file. Eventually there'll be some kind of UI to create accounts, such as Adidas accounts and other payment methods. But I'm just going to put in those accounts. So the sites that it can actually go for releases on are Yeezys, a standard Adidas release, which can either be a non-splash release or splash release, doesn't matter. And then the foot sites. Eventually, obviously, there will be more sites, but this is a solid foundation to start with. So I'm going to start with a Adidas US release. Obviously, there are no splash pages right now, but the shoe we're going to go for is this. And the reason I'm picking this is because it has a CAPTCHA, and it does not have every size in stock. So let's just keep track of what sizes are in stock. So anything between an 8 and a 12 are not in stock. I'm going to grab the link, put this back, put that in, and then let's just say we want a 9.5, but anything between a size 7 and 13 is okay. We can put in a tag for ourselves, and then the amount of pairs that we can afford to pay for. And then the number of tasks is how many people we'd want going for this, or the equivalent of how many people would be going for this. So let's start task. So after the page finishes loading, it's going to notice the product's up. It's going to pick the closest size to 9.5 that was in stock because we were okay with anything between 7 and 13. And right now it's contacting to CAPTCHA and asking it for a completed CAPTCHA. So once it gets completed CAPTCHA, it should be ready to go, should add to cart. Usually this would not take as long. It would be generating CAPTCHAs before it even got onto the product page, but since the product page was already up, it needs to start generating CAPTCHAs as soon as the task starts. So it's going to try to log in with my PayPal account, but there's some old PayPal information in there. Let's say I didn't want to check out with PayPal on an Adidas release. This is just temporary. It auto checking out with PayPal, but let's say you got it to this page, you click on the task, press pay, click on a payment method, and then it would auto fill all the forms for you. Press credit card. You could check over your details and then just press place order. So that's great for an Adidas US release. It will work with splash pages. It will work if certain elements crash. This was obviously optimal conditions, but it's been tested during releases, and there are cases for certain elements not loading on the page and other things bugging out. So you might think, all right, automation can be written for pages that generally have the same format, like Adidas and the foot sites. But what about a Yeezy release? The thing about Yeezy releases is that you don't actually know what the product page looks like before it goes up. So how do you get everyone's bot to be able to cop on Yeezy US? Now, there's a server associated with this program that the bot constantly checks to see if there's code for Yeezy US up. And essentially what it will do is, if you've seen my previous video on the HMAC gen idea, it works very similarly to Soulmotor script plus brute forcing an HMAC with proxies. And I'll show you what I mean right now. So let's say you wanted to go for Yeezys. You start up a couple of Yeezy tasks, and all that it does is it tells you whether it's on the sold out, the coming soon, the splash page, like waiting room, or if it's actually on the product page. So right now it's on the sold out page, and if I press show, it's sold out, but I can trick it into thinking that it's on the product page by just going here onto a standard product page. Let's go back to that NMD shoe. So the backend for a Yeezy release is very much similar to an Adidas release, but they'll change some very minor details on the backend that I can account for. So how I would actually the first Yeezy add to cart would have to be manual, but after that I would be able to press if I just show the console right now, it's on the product page. So if I press inject, the Yeezy backdoor hasn't been uploaded yet. So I need to create a backdoor with the first one that gets through product page and upload it to the server. And then all the bots connected to my server will get the backdoor uploaded. So let me show you how I do that relatively simply. I get the site key of the CAPTCHA, which is going to be different than the standard Adidas CAPTCHA. So all I have to do is kind of just do this manually. Storefronts. All right, capture done. So now all I have to do is inspect the page and listen to the network things that it sends out to the website. All right, perfect. I've captured what I need to capture, which is the add to cart request. So I'm looking for something that says cart mini ad product. There we go. So this was the response it received, and this is the request it sent out. So using this information, I can send certain things to my server to let it know how to send these requests without actually having to get to this page. Obviously, it still needs to get past the splash to get the HMAC authentication cookie, but after it gets through that, sending these requests should be fine. So I'm just going to get rid of this, the one that's currently on the product page. And this is Postman. This is what I use to update my server currently. I can send that information, currently blurred out right now, just because there's not a ton of authentication on the server yet, and I want to keep some of this stuff secret. I'm going to send that to the server. If I get a true response, that means the backdoor was uploaded properly. So now, if I just trick this to think it got past the splash page, it should think it's on the product page, just because it's not on any of the other 3 pages. I'm going to wait until it banks a CAPTCHA. So I'm going to wait until it gets this CAPTCHA response back, which it needs in order to send a backdoor request. So I'm just going to wait. Again, these would be pre-banked. All right, there we go. So now I can send an inject request. And let's say I want to inject a size 13. Perfect. Worked. So that's great. That allows me to add to cart really fast. I can press checkout. Checkout now. Once it's on the product page, click on it, press pay, choose a predefined shipping profile and payment information, and it will fill out all that for me. And then I can just look over the details and then press place order. So I'm going to get rid of that. And the way that I'd be able to put 250 or so tasks on here is by using the proxy loader. And what this allows me to do is take a proxy file. So I'm going to go to desktop, proxies, and then take a sample, pick the sites that I want to test these on. So I'm just going to test these on all the sites that work with my bot. And then all I have to do is press test, and it will actually try to connect with that proxy to that page and then tell you how long it takes. And if one of these proxies couldn't connect to a site, it would come back as red. All right, but it looks like all of our proxies are working, so that's good. So now if I were to go to the Yeezy page, you wouldn't be able to tell, but the way you could tell is by pressing the meta button, what proxy it was using. So I can tell that it's using this proxy. I'm not going to use proxies for the rest of this demonstration. I just want to show you that it does work with proxies. So if I go for, well, I was going to go to whatsmyip.com, but I don't want to show you the IP of my proxies. I'm just going to use untested because I don't want to use proxies because they're slower. They're great for brute forcing, but they're not very fast, which is what I want for this demonstration. So on Footlocker, I'm going to go for a hard shoe and then an easy shoe. Luckily, there is a hard to get shoe up right now. It's almost sold out, so hopefully it won't be by the time I get to it. So all you'd have to do is take the link. Again, if there was like a timer here, it would account for that. So we're going for Air Force Ones. I'm okay with any of these sizes. Let's just say 15 is the highest size I'll be okay with. I think everything's in stock though. So optimally, I want a 9.5, but anything through a 7 through 15 is okay. So I'm going to press Start Task. It's going to go to product page. It needs to finish loading. Everything needs to finish loading. It's going to pick size 10. And then tell me that I need to confirm the order. Currently, there's no payment button functionality. There will be by the time this releases. There's no inject button functionality. The thing is, there's not really a reason for a Footlocker backdoor because it will just reject requests. It's kind of a lottery with Footlocker. So that's great when it only takes one request to add to cart. Let's say there was a harder shoe to get, and I think I have that up. Here we go. So there's one size left, and if we add to cart, we'll get, due to high demand, this could not be added to cart, the standard Footlocker BS. So I'm going to copy that, put that in there. I'm still okay with the same sizes, that's fine. And then I'm just going to name this Jordan 1. This is more of a tag for you more than the bot. Bot doesn't really, it doesn't matter what you name this. Use Footlocker. And then I'm just going to show this task. So let's say you have like 100. They'd all be over here. It would pick size 14 because that was the closest, that was the only one in stock, and that was between 7 and 15. And then it would just start sending cart requests. So that's great. And then optimally what you'd do is you'd be using proxies, and then you'd have a whole shitload of these. And then once one finally got through, you'd click on that, press show, and then check out. So I'm just going to, for proof of concept, all the foot sites are mostly the same. I'm just going to show you on Champs. This is what the product looks like. I'm going to grab this. Put in a link. We're going for the Air Force One. I'm going to show the product. 9.5. Attention, confirm order. So it knows that it's in the cart and that we can then just press checkout. It will only tell me that it's to confirm order if it's in cart, and then I could just check out. Again, there will be pay button functionality to automate this by release. So let's go over some of these other buttons and what they do. So Meta will show you other information about a task. So I can click on this, go to Meta, and then it will tell me if it's using a proxy, how many are remaining for that shoe, the size it's currently trying to go for, and this will change once it actually gets on, or actually it won't, because there's a 9.5 in stock, the URL it was sent to, and the status of the current task. And you can also choose a new task by selecting one. There's only one task to select. So yeah, let's go over the other buttons. Backdoor, this is currently kind of an experimental feature. I'm not sure how useful this is going to be. It might be taken out by the time it releases. But what it will do is it will gather the backdoor is currently uploaded to this server, and it will try to prepare a task for you. This might be useful for people that can't figure out how to set up tasks for themselves, because if you click on the backdoor and then press submit, it will automatically fill out the form data for you. Again, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. might be useful. So what are these grayed out buttons? Creator, this is going to create Adidas accounts and such. As you saw, there's no logging in right now. That is planned for the future. And then the next major feature, these two other grayed out buttons, is a cart network. So after it gets onto here and it says that it's in cart, what you'd be able to do is click on it optimally and just press upload. And then it would go to the Shubi network, also known as the Shubin. And then other people would be able to click on Shubin, look through the carts that have been uploaded, and then purchase one of those carts. And then it would open up the session using whatever proxy they uploaded the cart with, and yeah, basically be able to take over their session and check out using their information. Console just displays console information. Release mode is let's say you have a whole bunch of these like I do on release day. You don't need, this just takes up a lot of space on your screen for a lot of things that you don't really care about. So these are tasks that don't need attention. These are the tasks that do need attention. So anything that doesn't need my immediate attention, I want to get rid of. And that's what release button's for. The release mode button is for. I just get the tasks that need my attention, and then I can click on them and then do whatever I need to them. So yeah, that is Shubi. Hopefully you guys are as excited as I am. I'm not sure when it's going to go for sale. I still need to patch some things up, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed.